Very good afternoon, people. What's good? Welcome back to the channel. Thank God it's Friday. It is the managers' press conference ahead of Nottingham Forest, and coming off back of the comeback victory against Aston Villa, the player seems to be on high spirit, and so does the manager. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of questions the journalists are going to ask Erik ten Hag, and if he's going to any team updates, any team news, any injury news. Will he line up with the same formation or the same personnel that he did against Aston Villa, or will it be some changes? You never know with Erik ten Hag, but if you find a winning formula, my opinion is stick with it. Stick with it. So stay with us because we're going to cover this live, which is kicking off in about 15 minutes. And as per usual, here talking to the global fan community. So big up, please don't forget to smash a like on this video. Give us a little bit cheeky thumbs up. It's Friday after all. We are on the road for 25 subscribers since we reached 20,000 subscribers just before Christmas. So why stop now? Like Manchester United, trajectory needs to go up. Anyway, big up for everyone that made it. Big up for you, like Jarle Malmin. He's here. I can see what you're saying. Jarle, what you're saying here. United just put in for Solanke. Oh, that's a good one. Actually, Solanke's been doing a madness, you know. It's kind of coming in late blossom, but also, what about the transfer market? What I did a morning video this morning to say that we are broke. Potentially is going to be a loan bid unless we sell a lot of players. Also, Fabrizio Romano confirmed earlier today as well in an exclusive. Here we go to say that Hannibal Magebury will go on loan in January. Let me know your thoughts and feelings regarding that. Donny van der Beek seems to be completing his loan move to Eintracht Frankfurt, and that's good. That's free up some wage, which depends on if they're paying the whole salary. But other than that, I think we are broke. I don't think we're going to do anything in the market, and I think that Erik ten Hag is going to bank on the youth. But it's weird one. Of course, Hannibal Magebury needs gameplay time. And also we saw some reports looming that Borussia Dortmund is interested in Dangor. And maybe it's a loan, maybe it's not. But Dangor needs playing minutes, and Dangor is one for the future. So therefore I say, don't touch the kids. Leave the kids alone, like the Pink Floyd song. Hey, teacher, leave our kids alone. You know what I mean? Because this is the best academy that we kind of had since 1992, according to my opinion. So, yes, Ten Hag has, said in press conferences, once my players coming back from injuries, it's like having a new signing. And plus, we see him betting in youngsters into the team as well, coming off the bench. So that might be something that Ten Hag will do, potentially go for a loan. But I'm just saying, don't go for the Timo Werners. Don't go for the washed out, we did the Weg horse. It didn't work out. That horse bolted. You know what I mean? So either stick or retract players that you already have on loan, like Alvaro Fernandez, like Mason Greenwood, rotational striker, because these kids are our next generation. They are the future, according to my opinion. So anyway, big up for everyone that's come in. Oh, what are you saying here, y'all, as well? Dude, what the other place? Onana offers to stay. It becomes player power. Don't Goldlocks like Onana that much. I don't really understand, but apparently Onana has delayed his response to go to Afghan because he want to fight it out with United. But you know what? In January, Manchester United only have 2 fixtures, 1 Premier League game and 1 FA Cup game. So it doesn't really make any sense. It will be a lot of time for the youngsters and everyone to get together, to practice, to train, maybe go on a warm weather training in Dubai, bond, gel together. This is a perfect time for Ten Hag to actually take a break, assess, that half of the season and start implementing the drills, which he couldn't have done before. And plus, we're getting Leacher back. We're getting we got a lot of injuries back. Mason Mount and everything, Casimiro. So I'm getting it there anyway. Big up Stephanie Griffith that's in the house as well. Big up Mick in the VAR room. Gas Taylors is here as well. Gas. Afternoon to you as well, buddy. Dark Crow, what you saying here? What Hannibal's mixed race an issue at Manchester United? Was Hannibal's mixed race? I didn't really understand. Mixed race. He's Moroccan. Jeffy Steele is coming in here raw. Hey, Mick and everyone. As long as he doesn't play McTominay, I'm happy. Same team will be cool. Well, Put McTominay in the back pocket, please. Stick him when the sun don't shine, because we've been saying that as long as you don't play Scotty Mac, you play like Ericsson, you play Dangord, play whoever like with the technical abilities, you be fine. What Scott McTominay is offer, hardly be to say he offers 10-15 minutes off the bench, but he's definitely not a starter. Everyone knows it. Don't stop believing what Stephanie Griffith is saying and liking. Yes, 100%. Please remember to like this video right now, right here, right now, right here, right now, like that song. Big up Stephanie and Gas Taylor, what you're saying here as well. Ahmad staying in the first team squad until the end of the season will get minutes. Ahmad is mint. Ahmad is mint. We bought Ahmad from Atlanta. I think what we paid 35 million euros for it, and he was considered the hot prospect, the best talent in Europe at that moment. So I want to see the best of Ahmad. I don't want to see him sent out on another loan. I don't want to see any more, loan spells. If you're going to keep him, embed him in the squad and play him, right? Embed him. Or, for instance, let's say Pelistri. That poor bugger is sitting there coming and getting minutes here and there. Like, send him on a loan if you're not going to play him, right? Or just start playing him and ship off like, Deadwood, like Sancho. By the way, we also spotted Sancho was driving in his black limo, whatever that was, some shady, stopped by Carrington. Does that mean that Sancho's coming back? Is he going to apologize? Better apologize anyway. But there's no room for Sancho because no clubs want him. Nobody wants that bad apple, right? People, clubs, and look at him like, they look at his mentality and say, hang on, did he do that to Erik in the club? Well, we don't want that bad apple in our club. So he basically shot himself in the foot. He has no other option to fight for his place in the team, right? What are you saying here, Dark Row? Mama, Stephanie, cook something, please. Oh, Mama, say cook some muffins, please. Alan, hey, yeah, good afternoon to you. Hey, yeah. How you doing, mate? How you doing? Usual January business for United. Loan. Library FC. Guys, dust up that library card because we are going on the loan market 100%. Brendan Chappell, what you saying here, mate? If these players are not the future, we have to ask the question of what the academy is actually for and doing. John Murtaugh, what the hell are you doing with the academy? You know what, Fletcher, what the hell is your role? Yeah, you got a point there, mate. You got a point. You know what? We got to criticize them. Hang on. Big up, RJ. I agree with you. Big up to you, everyone. Stephanie Griffith, hi. Yeah, Dark Crow. You're talking to each other. Brian is here as well. Brian Moran, say hello. Ray and Brian. Big up to you, Brian. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Let me know what your weekend plans is. We are definitely going to watch Manchester United, aren't we? Yes, Taylor, what she's saying here as well, mate. Start the same team as last. For me, you need to change winning team. Jeff Steele, all the way from Adelaide. Did we steal something, Jeff? I'll be okay with Casimiro's sale. Steal somebody else, steal. Place Maino keeps Amrabat. Have a drink on your coffee, Jeffy. You need it. Double espresso. Love it. Just love it. Gas me up. Gas me up like Gas Taylor says. Gas. RJ, what you saying here, mate? Yeah, you talking to each other. Peace, love, and blessing. Peace, love, bananas. Mike, aren't you angry at the club loaning Hannibal? Yes. No. Yes. No. I'm conflicted because Hannibal needs playing time, right? He needs development. As long as it's not a sale, I'm happy, You got to look at it from a player's perspective. Like, I worked as an intermediate in the football intermediate market, and you always want to look after the best for the player. And if you're not going to play minutes where you are, you might as well play somewhere else and get a little bit of a more experience. So yeah, it depends on where he's going. That's the thing. There's several clubs interested in. I want to see him in some Premier League capacity, maybe Luton, something like that, or lower league, like similar to the Prem. But if you're going to ship him off like to the Dutch league, slower league, like La Liga, might as well forget it, mate. 11 likes, 28 watching. What's going on here? Are we ball watching here like Scott McTominay? Please get those 11s up now. Like 11 like on the pitch. Definitely. Brian, what you saying? Brian Marone, hello from the other side. You know what I mean. I'm in a good mood today. Sancho means poisonous dressing room. Poisonous charlatan, whatever you say. That poisonous flowers. Yeah, he has to go permanently. But who questioning who wants to buy him, right? Should we cut the losses? Just rip up the contract? I don't think so, guys. I don't know. It's yet to be seen. It's unprecedented. We've never seen this before. It's been a long time since we've seen that. But anyway, Dark Cry, Sancho needs to apologize. apologize. To Mark Nurse. He needs to apologize to Mark Nurse first. And no, Mark, how you doing, Mark? You need to apologize to me. And you need to apologize to me because you're late. Where are you, mate?
I was having some internet issues just now, bro. Sorry
You
about
still
that.
have, you're a little bit frozen still. Yeah, a little bit
Yeah, I'm not
laggy,
sure
but
what's
it's
going
okay.
on right now. But what I could say is definitely I found out recently that there have been a lot of inquiries today about Jaden Sancho, and Hannibal loan is almost but confirmed.
To
Also,
who?
Ahmad
Who
is
am?
probably going on loan. They're just not
Who?
sure which club right now. Ahmad Diallo, he's going on
Oh
loan to
no,
Ipswich.
don't loan him
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I think it's
Why?
better for him to get consistent game time because he's not going to be a starter in the squad. Like it's like I would love for him to be a starter, but like they're going to bet in Palestri more into the team this season because he's not going out on loan. So
Well, fair
it's
enough.
going to
He
be
deserves the shot. He deserves the shot, mate.
yeah, so it's like we have so many youth, but it's like kind of difficult to bet in 10 of them at the same time in one season. You know what I mean? So some of them are gonna have to be shifted back to the next season, while others get their chance this season. Like you see with Dan Gore Jr. I know there's inquiries for him from
Borussia
Dortmund,
Dortmund. Is it a
Borussia
loan or is
Dortmund.
it? I would say okay for loan.
It's a permanent option is what they're trying to make a bid
No,
for. It's
screw
like
you. Take your
yeah,
Sancho
I
back.
I don't think it's gonna happen though. I
You
see
started off over Sancho. Screw you. Don't touch a Dangor.
yeah, I see someone in the comments was saying something about they would keep Amrabat, but I'm suddenly starting to think that with the resurgence of youth coming into the squad right now, that he might end up surplus to requirements in the summer,
Yeah,
which may be left to be seen. But
yeah.
when you think about Dango Jr. coming in, Casimiro is coming back fit, Mason Mount is going to be fit. You know what I mean? Then you have Kobe
I'm
Main,
playing
who's
one
already
game a week.
securing his
Yeah,
position in the team.
but still, we
It's
need
going
a
to be
rotation.
tight for positions.
Yeah, you got Kenny's bantering you, saying you got Old Trafford Wi-Fi settings, mate. Big up,
All
Kenny.
good in
Big
the
up for
hood,
you coming
Keddy.
in with the
You
bands.
know?
But listen, off the record there. All right, so we are actually playing one game a week, like Premier League game per week, and we have potential can run deep into FA Cup, right? So there's not going to
Mhm.
be any requirements for that much rotation. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, so it's basically one of those things where you're going to see one or two players go on loan. Like you heard Jarvis talking about Isaac Hansen Oren. Hansen Oren wants to actually get
Leon.
more game time. So it's not the club wants him to go, it's him pushing for a move because he's not getting satisfied with the game time
Okay,
he's getting because
okay.
he's
Can you
been pushed
confirm
back
what?
on the roster.
Can you confirm Alan saying he's going to loan to Lyon, the French league?
Well, the two clubs that are in the lead actually, and it's based on game time because the clubs that are interested in they want to play him regularly. So Freiburg is one, and Lyon is the other. But there's another Italian club as well that's coming in late, and we're not sure which one is going to be 100% the one that guarantees. But they will find out in the first days of next week.
Well, maybe culture speaking, he speaks French. He's Moroccan, or Algerian, is he? Algerian, so he speaks Juju, French. Maybe it's good for
French.
him to go to, but League On, that's like a lower league.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
I'm not too sure about the league on for him. Like
Mark,
I might actually prefer him to go to somewhere like Italy or maybe even Germany because
yeah.
some people might say the German league isn't as good, but I still think it's better than the French league. And in
Listen,
my opinion,
Mark, check your Ahmad settings. He's because
yeah, I
Gas is
saw that
saying that.
report this morning, but the report there are two reports that came out this morning. One was the previous loan listing for all the players who are going on loan based on the time and what was set already in the season. And then
Yeah, no,
there's someone
some
talking
people.
that it's a
No, but
possibility that Ahmad might not
yeah,
be going on loan, but
he
he
needs
will
to
be.
mature. He needs to control his temper. Some people don't like him. I think he's a time bomb. He's a red card away every time. So he needs to learn to mature a bit. Anyway, the press conference is about 1 minute away live, and we're going to cover it and we're going to listen. We're going to criticize the gas journalists, the questions, the media apparatus. Basically, they're going to, here we go. Wait a minute. Yo, let's go. It's kicking here. It started kicking. Mark, are you frozen?
No, no, no. Why?
I'm gonna put it on the screen as soon as it kicks off because usually they start like with
The
pre
intro.
nop talk and stuff like that. But anyway, so big up everyone. Don't forget to smash the like for the video. We are live for the first time today. We didn't do a morning show. Mark needed some sleep. I did a pre-recorded 10 minutes video. Nothing really to talk about because anyway, this is pretty much the transfer gash, no money, loaning up. It's all about the outs, isn't it?
The concern that they were talking about with Andre Onana, the thing is with Andre Onana is he has a contract with Cameroon. So unless Cameroon allows him to stay at Old Trafford, right, then he can't play for Old Trafford while they're at AFCON. So that's the difficult part.
Okay. Is this embargoed or live today?
It's live. I don't think it will be embargo. We play tomorrow.
Basically, a Nottingham Forest side that are looking a bit different now.
Okay, we're live.
Espirito Santo. What are you expecting from them? And will you have any players back available that were unavailable for the last match?
No, to start with that last, I don't think so. So it will be a similar squad as we have had against Villa. Yeah, you see with them, you see the reaction when new manager is coming in. You see the spirit. We have to be ready for that, and it's always about us. But yeah, be aware of it, and be aware they have the right spirit, and of course they built the confidence. But that is what we did as well, and so we have to continue in the performance.
Obviously, 100%. The matches are coming thick and fast right now, but there's a lot of talk outside about the impact and the influence of Ineos after their investment was announced. Have you spoken to anyone at Ineos yet? And have you got any plans to, if you haven't?
As you said, the schedule is so condensed, so I didn't have the time so far to speak with them. But it will come, and I look forward. They want to work with me, I want to work with them, and we will have the conversations, the meetings, and so we will see.
Are you expecting them to be regular presences here? Will they be across your work on a day-to-day basis?
So listen, I'm focused on the game so far. So I said, no, in this moment, I don't want to have distractions. But in the coming days, weeks, there will be time for this, and then I know more. But I think it's a good thing. It's very positive, and as I said, we are really looking forward to work together. Ineos wants to work with me with this in the structure, and I want to work with them.
Can I just ask you about Andre Onana? He has been picked in the large Cameroon squad. We expect him to be picked in the main squad. They have a training camp next week. Will tomorrow's game be his last game, or are you trying to make him available for Wigan? What is the situation there?
Situation is that we be talking. We have good relationships with all the federations. It's about Souf, it's about Hannibal, it's about Andre. So we're talking with them.
Hi, Erik. When are you expecting to have Casimiro and Mason Mount back?
Oh, I love this question.
Yeah, I think so. In mid-January,
mid-Jan,
we expect many players back.
Wow.
Mason, Casimiro, Martinez, Malasia. So we expect Harry Maguire, of course. We expect many players to return in January.
And can I ask about the comeback against Aston Villa? Obviously, Manchester United performance is always heavily scrutinised. But for you, did that feel like a benchmark kind of performance going forward? And also, how do you get that consistency now in your results?
Also, that's about us. But so we proved, despite all the setbacks, and I think not any team can deal with so many setbacks we have had. And then so the number of points we have to, we are not satisfied because we are not satisfied. But you have to be pleased. You have the number of points. When we have all the players back, this squad is strong, and we proved it against Arsenal. against Liverpool, against Villa, the number 1, 2, 3 from the league. We went head to head, and we could have won all the games. We didn't, but yeah, definitely the last game. I think our sides, we proved it. We showed how hungry we are, determination, so the right mentality, and then we can beat anyone.
Was it
Yep.
especially
I
pleasing
agree.
to produce that kind of performance with Sir Dave Brailsford in the stands, obviously from
He's got nothing to do with that.
Does
Were you
that
there
show,
for
does
Gash
it send a
question?
message to Ineos that it could be positive?
No, it's we always want to win, and it doesn't matter who's in the lead. So we are appointed here and to win. So in this area, we need a winning culture, no matter who is in the lead, no matter who is the owner. But of course, owners can inspire you.
Jesus.
I mean, Erik, there have been a few times this season where Manchester United have got big results and they've been described as a turning point. Why is this victory against Villa different?
So it showed once again this squad is strong, and even when not when many players not even on board, and even then we can compete. We go head to head with the strongest teams in this league. So when the players are back, and we can beat anyone if the mentality is right.
You keep repeating
It's
that.
up to us. We have to get consistency in.
What will that goal for Rasmus Højlund do for his confidence? And did you ever have any doubts that he would score in the Premier League?
But then I have to repeat myself. But I trust him. I knew he could. His goals in the Champions League for Denmark showed what he did as a young player in Austria, in Italy. And he is a very strong character. But of course, this goal will give him confidence and belief that he is that he's going to score, and he has to score more goals from this point on, I'm sure. Yeah.
Make sure you tune in from 4:25 on.
So there you go. That was a short and sweet one. What did you make of that? Because one thing that I could make of consistently, and I did a video about yesterday, I spoke about this today, this morning, and he's waiting and waiting and waiting to have a full squad because he hasn't had it this season as of yet. And now this is a golden opportunity, the golden crown. The people going waiting for AFCON. You know, he's not really bothered if Onana goes away, you know, because we haven't seen Bayande, but he was talking about the importance of Licha coming back, the Casimiro's coming back, you know. Are you there? Are you frozen?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm listening to you.
Malasia's coming back. There's a lot of players coming back. So all of a sudden he's got a full squad to pick. And he spoke about, you know, haven't be able to play the person. Like we could have won those games if we have all the fitness and all the original squad there. But unfortunately, he hasn't. So he's been dealt with that card. And that's just to remind us, United fans, that we haven't had been patience. Like, you know, he's been scraping by. And that's what I'm saying. You know, 2024 season is going to look different. Mark, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think the thing is, as I was always saying from the beginning of the season, these games in the first half are not really going to show the United that we know we can be. I think it was always a process where we were dealing with, you know, the always inconsistency of the player availability, all the injuries we've been having. We haven't been able to have a consistent team, basically in the back four consistently this season. We've had I think it was 20-something different pairings.
We
center
had,
back
yeah.
this season. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. So like you have to look at it like this. The squad itself has dealt with a lot of different things and inconsistency, not based on their own football and their own performances, really.
But you know what?
But
You know
as
what?
well.
You know what? The sign we saw at Aston Villa when Christian Eriksen came back into the team, out got Scott McTominay straight to the bench. You know, then you can tell that managers was just using Scott McTominay to get by, right? Because it ain't gonna work. He's not a starter. And then all of a sudden you get Casimiro coming back in the midfield. You have Amrabat in the midfield as well. That's a positive headache, right? Striker position, we have Højlund 100%. January, I don't know. Are we going to get a lonely striker, or are we going to just retract somebody that's already employed by the club and playing in the Spanish league, right? So
Maybe I think it's the best option. We have to
I
consider
think so
that the
too. Yeah.
club, even
Yep.
if Sir Jim is coming in, that we don't know what's gonna be the influence
Right.
of cash to the kitty for transfers anyway. So we don't know what kind
Nothing.
of funding we have
Nothing.
available
Ain't gonna
right
be
now.
nothing. He's not
So
even allowed.
I'm thinking based on best footballing ideology, you bring back that youngster and you embed him into the
Mm,
squad. You deal with the pressure because at the end of the day, sometimes it
mm,
goes life doesn't it is not always perfect. You know what I mean?
yeah.
We're not trying to make it
Yeah.
soft on the issues or whatever, but at the same time, if
Mark,
it's based on football,
just for reference, you're lagging. Just for
oh,
reference, you are activated your, Stratford and Wi-Fi settings there, I think. But we got to go with the Linda Warrington, typical English media that can't come up with any relevant question about Forest game. The thing is, what was laughable, according to my opinion, and that made me really laugh, was when he said, like, Sir David Brailsford within the stand, like, did that affect how you guys were playing? That's kind of, come on, right? Seriously, what kind of question was that? If you
I don't
remember that question.
understand them. Yeah. I when I heard it, it shocked me. Like I was writing down the questions and the responses, and I'm like hearing that, and I'm like, what sense does this make? You know what I mean? Like, let give it 3, 4, 5 games, let them build up a run of wins, and then say, is the Ineos coming in make an impact? But one win, and it's like, yeah, let's go gym positive. But it's the
Yeah,
English
there
media for
was
you.
there was this one. Question 6. Did the comeback have anything to do with Sol Brails for being in the game? Being at the game? What has the two? Like, it's the application of the players and the fight in the grid. Like, all of a sudden you have Brailsford sitting in there, like, already doing optimization. Come on, man. It's like, what kind of question is that? Like, let's go
Wasted
over the
question.
questions one by one. Like, I like the best players was actually what Stephen Griffith was saying. What about the returning players?
Yeah.
So he said it himself. Like, he expected good positive news though. Licha, Casemiro, mid-January. Who else?
Said Licha
Mason,
Casimiro. You get Malasia back. You get back
Mason
Luke Shaw.
Mount.
Well, Mason Mount is coming back this week. He's in training, so it's a lot of positives when you see all the teams. Ahmad as well is coming back, but as I
Mm,
said, he may be going on loan. It depends on when his fitness comes in because he can't leave on loan if he's not fit.
yeah.
So this is why
Uh,
I said there are two stories about Ahmad.
yeah. Listen, what is his name? Seth from the Sky. Shetman Seth. I can't remember. Darwin Shet, the chief correspondent for Sky News. I did a piece on him this morning when he also said, and Erik and I keep reporting and saying the same thing. Like, when I have a full fit squad back, it's like a new signings. That's what he kept saying. As you can see, the performance improved now, hungry, and they are determined. And that's what it is. Like, we can beat anyone with the best team available, as you can see. And we're starting to see a little bit of that when you start introducing, like, Casemiro, the old same suspects, and blooding in Kobe Maino into the fray. Like, you're seeing that Leach is trying to find his form. And also, like, thank God that Rasmus Højlund, the relief of him scoring his first Premier League goal, it's only going to get better and better and better.
Well,
So
it's
that
just going to
is
give him more confidence, really.
yeah, that is an indicator to me that we're not going to do much in the transfer window, is what Sky News was reporting as well. We're going to dip in, like, been dipping into the loan market. But what is a good loan out there for you, Mark? What is a potential loan? I mean, we have a full qualified squad. We have some exciting prospect talents to play with the seniors. We're only playing one game a week plus some FA Cup. I mean, there should be enough, right? What do you
I don't
reckon?
really, I don't really. It depends on what the manager wants to do. Because at the end of the day, we have to consider there will be outgoings in January, because as we know, he did not really want Scott McTominay or Harry Maguire, and even though he's been performing well, based on the offers that come in for him in January or come in for Scott McTominay, if they're at the mark where they were in August,
Hmm.
35, 40 million. I think
Yeah.
we're going to see some outgoings. You might
Yeah.
even see Anthony Martial leave the club in January. So maybe we get a lone striker just supplementally. I would hope
Yeah, big
that
up,
the
Brian.
lone
How you going,
striker,
mate? Long time no
there's
speak,
different
Brian.
options.
Long time no
There's this,
speak, Brian, my old mate. Yeah, we just
there's
been
this,
on for how long? Mark, you're lagging. Can I just speak? We've been on for 30 minutes, Brian, just to answer your question. Sorry, Mark, you have a little bit delay since you're lagging, right? So Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you normal.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, like I was saying, so like there's gonna be some options in the loan market. There's, the Timo Werner option is whatever. I don't really consider it in my opinion, but if they go for him, well, it's a loan, so he's not a permanent member. So if he's just backing up and he does well, he does well. If not, whatever. But I would like to see them probably sell and buy maybe some young players that are not in the expensive side,
Well,
maybe like
we
10 to
might get
15 million
we might get
euros.
some money from Saudi Arabia regarding Anthony Martial as well. Definitely needs to go in January. He's no use for the club anyway. But we need a secondary striker that can sort of, because we don't have any other striker. Who else do we have? Like Shea Lacey's too young. None of the under 21s are good enough to play as a striker for Manchester United first team.
Well, I mean, Shea Lacey is like 16, so it's hard to
It's too
say.
young, yeah.
He performs well, but it's hard to say. But I see Jack Hugo is getting a new contract from Manchester United, so it's possible Jack Hugo might be coming up into the first squad, and maybe becoming a backup. You never know, because at the end of the day, not having funds for transfers is not entirely a bad thing. You know what I mean? It also offers the chance for them to actually test the youth and see what they are offering. I also see like Yali Malmina saying Solanke, there's been some interest. United have been looking at him as well. So, you never know what the options might be in January. You have to wait and see as well, because I think there might be one or two shakeups, nothing too major. You know what I mean? I think the major happenings are going to happen in the summer. Although, personally, I'd like to see a few outgoings in January.
Oh, who do you want to see outgoings? Like, would you, if Scott McTominay is a surplus for requirement, or maybe he has a role to play, like coming in from the bench 15 minutes, or would you sell him if there was an offer on the table?
Yeah,
Or
if there's
who
an
would you
offer.
sell?
Yeah, well, if there's an offer on the table for them, I'd sell them. You know what I mean? Like if you get 40 million for Maguire, I'd sell him. If you get 40 million for Scott, I'd sell him as well. You know what I mean? And then I'd take that money and I'd reinvest it. I'd probably go and get 3 players for that money that are going to replace them. You know what I mean? You could try to get Giorgio Scalvini or something like that, because he's going to cost like around 23 million. Then you could probably get 2 players from another league. There's Lenny Euro. He's less than 20 million. It's like 40. You just get 2 center backs right there. You know what I mean? So
the thing
there's
is,
also the Todibo option.
But Todibo is not going anywhere. He's probably going to Spurs, right? So that's the
Probably.
latest news. Yeah, probably. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. We do play a game. I just wanted to say big up to Brian Stinson, my old mate. It's been a while since I've seen you, my friend. Message me on WhatsApp and let's have a conversation, my friend. Been a long time, Brian. So good to see you in the chat as well. What else do we have in the totally wasted question? Well, Linda Warrington was saying as well. Sim, what you're saying here as well, my friend. These people are just waiting for Europa Super League to profiting all of them. Yeah, 100%. We're not going to talk about that in particular. I have a lot of things to say about this loan kind of thing, because if you really put your goggles on, if you put your analytical mind, it's not really a takeover. It's basically a financial loan, giving a sort of the carrot and the stick. So basically, let's face it, Glazers are broke. Glazers are maximized all the finances to credit. No bank wants to give it. You have the minority investors looking there. We're talking about the serious investors. Yeah, Brian, you can come in and have a chat if you want. Let me just share the drink. Brian Stinson just sent me a message on WhatsApp. He wants to come in and have a say. Is that cool with you, Mark?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Hang on, Brian. Hang on a second. Brian, welcome in. I'm just pasting on your WhatsApp. But at the end of the day, mate, it is pretty much like, I give you some money in return as you give me some shares, right? And the 300 million that's pledged in investment doesn't go for the infrastructure, it goes for more shares, right? So there's no way Ineos can pump in money into the transfer market. The problem remains the same. The problem remains the same. We, on the commercial side and operational side, don't have money. We don't. We're broke, right? So how are we going to get money for the January window or loan for the summer window? And if this new CEO, Jean-Claude Blanc, or whatever his name, is going to come in and optimize certain things, he's going to do miracles. He's not Rain Man, right?
100%.
So it's those kind of questions you have to ask. I just shared the link with you, Brian. So just hop in anytime, mate, on WhatsApp. Anyway, facts: no more money for the transfer in January. What Jeff Steele is saying, or next summer. Priority be stadium and facilities.
But
But
what
what
money,
money? What's facility? Who's going to
bro?
build it?
To fix that stadium, just to renovate is $1 billion.
You
It's
can't.
almost $1
They're going to
billion.
knock it
It's three
down.
quarters of $1 billion. To knock
They
it down,
yeah, they're going to knock it down. They hired, professional architecture surveys, and they basically came back with a report. There's nothing you can do it. This stadium is past due date, right? You can't even do it, and the ground it stays on, the infrastructure underneath is not stable, mate. So, what are they going to knock it down and build it somewhere else? And with what money are they going to go and sponsor it with? Who? I don't know. I just don't see this happening, mate. So is there a
100%.
way for them to just say, well, we were in it together just to, we give you a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, if you read between the lines, they will not sell under $33 per share. So this is a massive profit. Like anyone can buy Ineos out as well. You know what I mean? Good afternoon to you guys as well. Sanjay, who's here? Sanjay Ramatur, good afternoon as well, mate. 30 likes and we are rising. We need Todabo. We need a lot of players, young defenders, but we also have. God, I'm struggling. The
We
name
have
that I'm
Willie Kwambala.
Kwambala, yes, 100%. New stadium. Hey, that's what we need. New stadium. We need new stadium. What else do we need? Training ground facilities upgrade. What about the women's team? We've got academy players. So many dodgy questions. For me, this is not a takeover. This is just an investment and a loan. And as soon as people see it for what it is. So anyway, let's talk about the game, man. Let's talk about the game. Brian, I share you the link. You coming or not coming? Welcome back, sir.
It's going to be a good game, I think. We're facing Nottingham Forest. We're going to be away, at the City Stadium. Nottingham Forest, we played them earlier on this season. It was the first time we came back to win a game this season from 2-0 down. We came back and won that game 3-2. I think it's going to be a different game. They have the new manager bounce. That's also a thing. But in my opinion, United has this new way, this new energy about them right now. You see, like, one, I didn't expect Rashford to start, and let alone have a performance like he did. So it's one of those things where you can't predict United right now. Rasmus Højlund getting a goal makes it a big difference as well.
Be careful what I've been talking about this for months and months and months. Like Ineos own PDL 193, which is the liquid gas fracking rights and the reserves under the Greater Manchester area, including where the stadium is. So if they're going to knock it down and build it somewhere else, that means in the future, if you have the way the world is shaping, maybe they're going to prove the fracking, and voila, Glazes and Ineos, they earn a lot of money on that. Speculation, but it's there. Like, we won't rebuild the stadium. It costs too much money to do that anyway. I just sent the link to Brian Stinson. I haven't spoken to Brian for ages. Looking forward for him to come in. Brian, all the way from USA, my friend. I think what are you saying here? I think many changes will be done in the summer. Transfer, new players, etc., etc. It's all, people don't believe it. Like Jeff Steele says, it's all BS. 300 million to the end of 2024 solves nothing. But that's 300 million goes straight into the shares, buying more shares, right? That's it. Yeah. That's it. It's got nothing to do with pumping in money into the club. So you got to ask yourself the question, wake up, smell the coffee. I know they're going to offer you the Sir Brailsford. Somebody's calling out as like an imposter. Like, what relevance does he have to football? He's done with Sky Cycling, and that's about it. Is this going to be uncharted water? You're going to get Jean-Claude Blanc, but he's going to be in charge of commercials as well. Not only for football, but he's the CEO of commercials as well. Marketing, more money. You know what I mean? More money, right? And then potentially a director of football, and that's about it. And then you're going to look at, for what money are we going to buy players for? Where is that coming from, right?
That's the thing. That's the whole thing. This is why a lot of people wanted 100% sale, because then you would know where money is coming from for players. You'd know where money is coming from for facilities and investment into the stadium and the different teams.
This sounds to me like, I've been thinking about it, analyze it, and this doesn't sound to me, as I said, this is not a takeover, right? This is somebody loaning money to somebody in exchange for some a bit of shares and 2 seats on the board. That's it. So that means that the takeover is still on in a way. It's still open. That it means that anyone can come in within 18 months or then the next foreseeable months to say, I buy 100%. And that means that he can buy out also, Ineos or Sir Jim Ratcliffe out on his $33 per share. So he made a profit. So he set the bar like a minimum $33 per share. Yeah, that's the thing. Or you can keep Ineos there as a minority investor, just like you have in the current state, like Lindsay, Train, Bowen Group, Areas, and all that. And you can still own majority of the shares. Like, it ain't matter, because if you have full control of the club, the more seats on the board, like even if you own 70%, 75%, you're good. You're cooking, right?
100%. And one of Yali is saying that there are plans to increase the stadium to a 1995K stadium. There are so many who would die to sponsor a build. But I have to mention this one fact to a lot of people who might not know. The history of Old Trafford, it's over 50 years old. It's been there so long, right? It's like a historical, cultural land site. So unless the fans and the people of Manchester allow them to break that stadium down, it can't be broken down. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, this is something that even if they own the stadium, they still have to, it's one of those historical sites. If you look it up, you could say it qualifies for it in every way, shape, and form.
Historical. It's
and
damn right.
The fans can decide what's done with that stadium over the owners. And this is one of those instances where these things happen.
But you're damn right, historical. There's so many memories in there. There's the Stratford End, the Sir Bobby Charlton stand and everything else. It is so iconical, right? So there's too many. You can take pieces of it, but not really take the spirit with it. You know what I mean? Listen, all the way from USA, a gentleman that I haven't spoken to for ages, Brian Stinson. It's been a hot minute, my friend. How you been?
I've been well, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, busy, man. So busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I guess you have a lot of things to talk about. What's on your chest, Brian?
I mean, lots of changes around the club. There's a lot of things that are going on. So I mean, there's not really a whole lot. I was kind of just going to jump in, and I don't want to deviate too much from the conversation that you all are having. But there are a lot of changes around the club with Sir Jim coming in, and speculation about how that relationship is going to work between Ineos and the Glazer family, and what, if anything, is going to change long term in the landscape of Manchester United, and all these different things. So we'll just have to see. There's a lot up in the air. What's going to come with Ten Hag? Is he going to be here come January? Is he going to be here come the summer? There's a lot of questions. Yeah. There's a lot of. It's interesting how we were hoping that some sort of quote unquote takeover would bring a bit of stability to the club, but actually all it does is prolong the instability until things can get settled. And then we'll actually figure out what the working relationship is going to be, right? Is Ineos going to appoint a sporting director at Manchester United? Who is that sporting director going to be, right? What do they mean by sporting control, right? Or sporting direction? What is that going to look like? How are they going to implement that sporting direction? There's a lot of questions. And then Manchester United have to keep getting results and not be crap in the Premier League on top of that.
Yeah.
So,
but buddy, just to answer your question, because you know what, during this period, I mean, they signed an agreement between themselves, but it's not really been 100% approved. Like, it's like a prenup. You know what a prenup is when you get married, right?
Yeah.
You made your vows, and basically, and in this contract, how do I say it? The husband here, Sir Jim is saying, you know what? During this period of time, we're not allowed to slug each other off, right? We only have to kiss each other and be nice, right? It's a honeymoon period, but this has to be approved. It goes up to the directors, the fitness and owners test by Premier League, and it also has to be submitted to New York Stock Exchange, and everything's going to be scrutinized, right? Until then, he's not having a full legal custodian right over the footballing operation, but they had made a pact to say you cannot hire or fire anything without my consent here. And this is going to take up to 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
But also there's there's also part of that contract to say that Glazer cannot take any dividends out. So that for me, Bryant, if I may say so, if I may speak bluntly, Glazers have been money hungry. They haven't been able to take out dividends for 1 year out of the club, right?
That's right.
So they were desperate for somebody to give them a little bit of a cash. So here comes Sir Jim, gives them 1.2 billion, right? They go straight into the kitty, but nothing to the club, right?
Yep.
So everything is just basically a loan because they invited a lot of those minority investors, shareholders, investor banking, hedge funds, and stuff like that. They were part of the minority investment. They made a proposal, but the interest rates was so high. I mean, you can look at the current financial situations, Brian. You know, nobody wants to give you a loan nowadays. So basically, for me, I see this as a personal loan. In return, you give me B shares and Class A shares, right? And that's what it is. Simple as that. If you look at it.
Yeah, it makes sense going all the way back to when we first saw the reports. When, I mean, to be honest, the Glazers, they were very clear on what they were looking for. The fans read what they wanted to read, and that's what we do. We're fans. We're just as selfish in what we want for the club as the owners are in a lot of ways, right? So when the Glazers first announced, they said initially they were looking for some sort of financial restructuring when it came to the ownership of the club. And one of those options was entertaining the idea of a full sale. They were very clear that a full sale wasn't the actual first thing that they were looking for. And so Sir Jim is essentially giving them what they were wanting.
That's correct, because that's always what to do. They did that with the Apollo Group as well. They were speaking to Apollo Group to give them 1.2, 1.4. They said, up yours, not going to do it. So here comes Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He wants to be at the, how do I say, twilights of his career. He wants to be associated. He said it himself, like, when he tried to buy Chelsea, he said, Jim and I and all them, like, our ambition is to own a Premier League club in the Premier League. And then they came into the Manchester United. It's like, well, he said, well, Joel and Avram are the nicest guy. I know them. And it's like, and they're owned by the 6 siblings and they don't want to sell the club and yada, yada, yada. It's all there, people. He says Joel and Avram are the nicest guys.
Yeah.
So that means that, did they do this on purpose all along, in a certain way, did they work together just to fish in the highest bidder, like, because at the end of the day, they want 10 billion in valuation, or 8 to 10 billion, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
so if you look, so if you look at this, Brian, like, if you look what they've done now, they made sure that anyone that comes in and wants to buy the remaining has to bid minimum $33 per share. That means you have to come in with 38. And Sir Jim has the first refusal right to say, well, I cannot afford 38.40, but you can buy me out for 33, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clever moves.
Yeah. You can say a lot of things negatively about the Glazers, but their business acumen, their ability
the Sharks
to go out and get money. Yeah, the Sharks. They definitely know what to do when it comes to getting what they want financially. So
yeah,
good on them.
I'm gonna switch back around a little bit. We're gonna talk about don't get dizzy, like we are going into 007 mode, like Listen, Brian, it's been a hot minute, but we're here to talk football, like what did you dissect from Ten Hag's conference? Do you reckon he's going to play the same team? I certainly believe he will.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't at this point, for me, Ten Hag has there's only been a handful of combinations in certain positions that he hasn't really done that I think a lot of fans are wanting to see, mainly playing Amrabat and Kobe Mainu in the pivot together. I know a lot of fans want to see how that will work, there's a lot of belief that those two players complement each other really well. But outside of that, I think that Ten Hag has tried a lot of things this season with different combinations within the squad. Not everything's really worked all the time. But after the result against Aston Villa, I think you just have to go with the side that gets you the result. Right. Yeah. At this point, there's no point in betting in players that played for a bit and then fell off, like Scott McTominay. You're hoping that since Højlund finally got his first goal in the Premier League, that he's going to eventually kick on from here. Garnacho finds some form. Maybe Rashford finds a bit of form. Because the the trajectory, the landscape of the season for United does not get better if we can't score goals. So
Yeah, we're starting to find the form 100%.
Yeah.
So it sounded on the press conference, Brian, that he's not going to do any changes. Perhaps Luke Shaw comes in instead of Diego Dalot and Van Bissaka, but I said keep the same winning formula, right? What do you reckon?
yeah, I mean, if it's not broke for the moment, I mean,
Why fix it?
You might as well just run with it until it breaks, and then change it, because
Brother,
everything else that he's done this season.
Merry Christmas to you, brother, and Happy New Year. It's been a hot minute. We're looking forward to have you more on, but you've been busy, man, right? You've been very busy. How's things in life?
Things been good. Lots of busy times going on between family and work and things like that. But things have been good.
And being a Manchester United supporter as well this season alone.
Yeah. It's been a lot, but it's been a good year. It's been a good year overall. So looking forward to seeing how.
Like the Goodyear tires.
I don't know. Maybe not that good.
Really, we're not sponsored by. Big man. So, what do you predict in terms of scoring here? Do you see like a tight game, tight scoring? Is a different perspective than actually playing Aston Villa. But hey, listen, they have played like the latest 2 home games. They've been better. They've been losing games, right? But this is the new manager bounce. Be aware, because any team in the Prem is a different perspective. Is a different animal. Like this could be a banana skin, but we have to go there. Attack them from the very first beginning. Like, do you see it's going to be a 2-0 United, 2-2, or do you reckon we're going to lose?
Nah, I don't think United will go on to lose this match. I think they'll go away from home and they'll take care of it. But in classic United fashion, I don't think it will be easy. It won't be a straightforward win. Those don't exist with the current Manchester United team. Nothing's straightforward. Nothing's easy. Nothing's routine. So I think they'll struggle through it. But I think in the end they'll get the win. I'm gonna say 2-1.
2-1, guys. We're gonna do the traditional. Mark, your Wi-Fi settings are still set on Old Trafford, right? Can you hear us?
Yeah. I've been listening all along.
So
I think I'm gonna go with a United win. I think it's gonna be a decent win, maybe like a 3-1, something like that. Because the forward line has scored. Rasmus Højlund getting his first goal changes things for everything. I think he now becomes the biggest threat to all the defenses, and which now would open up space for the wingers to attack and Bruno to do his thing. So I think the team are going to score a few goals.
Okay, listen, guys. Here's what we're going to do per tradition. We'll let Lady Fortuna luck take us to the promised land. Brian, I don't predict scores anymore. If you notice, I let it down to the footballing gods. Like, there is gods and there's footballing gods. And I believe in footballing gods 100%, guys. Listen, Brian, pick your score here. Place your bet. I know maybe you're not a betting man, but I have starting from 0-0, 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1, and 2-2. Guys, in the comments as well, place your bets and we're going to spin the wheel. Mark, what did you say, by the way?
3-1, actually.
3-1. Ruby Classic, yeah? Okay, I also go for Ruby Classic. What are you going for, Brian?
I'm going to go for 2-1.
2-1. Clip this. What is the VR room saying?
Stephanie saying 3-1, Højlund, Garnacho, Anthony.
Yeah. Okay, we did this yesterday. So this is technically the second time we spin it. So yeah, cheating. Let's go, guy. Let's go. Get in there. 3-1. Come on. This is not jinxed. Come on. Oh no, 2-2. No, 2-2. Okay,
we spun this wheel last night, Mick.
We spun this wheel yesterday and we became 3-1, actually, Brian. So for the reference, this doesn't count. But we did it because of you, right? In honor of you.
Fair enough.
Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. We are playing tomorrow, right?
Most certainly.
Yeah. Listen, to summarize what we heard today, some mixed bag of questions, predominantly about the in-ears. He said he hasn't spoken to them. They asked about the performance, if there was so Dave Brailsford had any influence for them for winning that game, and I was just laughing, and he was like, oh, "What a gosh question." I think the best question of that press conference, Brian, was asking about the injured players, like when they'll be back, and he gave us a fresh update that everyone expected to be back in mid-January. So that's exciting, right?
Good. Oh yeah, be good.
Yeah. So Brian, do you think that we will have a different second half of the season, that we become good? Good.
Man, I don't know.
It's like,
I really don't. Having some of the more senior players back in available will be great. We need the Casimiros back. We need Martinez back. We need a lot of these more senior players back in the team. But I think it's going to be a struggle all year. I really do. I really do. I think it's going to be a struggle all season.
after what we experienced the first half of the season,
Yeah.
we take it. I would say just the jinx. Yeah, Jarvis, shush, jinx. We're not going to jinx it. We have not jinxed it. We say play it game by game. Let the footballing gods decide, right? Take it game by game. Mark, do you agree?
Well, yeah, it was always supposed to be taken game by game this season because we are in a rebuild after all. This is the manager's second season. I don't see how we could not be taking it game by game. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
Maybe we'll become a professional cycling team after all. With
Well, I
Braille
mean,
Sport in there.
I mean, if people are rating Sir Brailford in that way, then I think they think it's cycling because this has nothing like Tour de France. It's a marathon in itself, but it's nothing like the Tour de France. So I'm just here waiting to see what they do. I don't expect them to be amazing because at the end of the day, I've seen what Sir Jim has done at Nice, and he's failed there for 4 seasons so far. So it doesn't make me feel like he's going to do an amazing job.
Just going to respond to Brian. I do understand, but I have a famous Gattuso quote. It goes like this.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
And that's what it is. That's been our first half of the season. But I believe we got to believe people and listen to what Erik ten Hag has said. He hasn't been able to play his first strongest starting 11, but he looks like a kid in the candy shop all of a sudden when he gets the news that everyone's coming back. A little bit worried about who we're going to loan out, who we're going to sell. Peter Hood is here. Ineos is not the buyer. The trawler Wally owned by Sir Jim. Yes.
Funny enough, he said that name was inspired by Eric Cantona when he had that famous line in the press conference.
Yes, true. That's a podcast for itself, guys. But listen, Brian, it's been a hot minute. So happy to see you. Please come back, sir. Looking forward to have you more on. It's been when was the last time we did a show? I can't remember, mate.
I can't remember either. I know it's been a while. I can't remember.
Since you've been gone. Mick, I said it was the Dodgy Dave isn't the football man. Dodgy Dave. Yeah, you called it Footy Live. Big up, man. Listen, we are not doing a show tonight, but I am posting a very exclusive video tonight regarding Lisandro Martinez. Listen, check it out. It's going live on premiere 6 o'clock UK time. It is a 25-minute biography, exclusive interviews from rags to riches, basically showing his childhood story all the way to Manchester United, and he's coming back to play, guys. Just check it out. I'm posting it today. It's going to be premiere live. It's a really good. I'm telling you. Mark, you've seen it already, right?
Yeah. It's been okay. If you're going to like it, guys, be sure to tune in, smash the like button, comment, and leave your comments.
Yeah. Mark, next time, disconnect your Old Trafford Wi-Fi settings.
100%.
Just jokes aside. Anyway. Listen, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We already said, I haven't said it to you. If we don't see each other again, which we'll definitely do tomorrow, we'll be back for the post-match show and everything else, the watch along. Brian, if you're free, join us in the post-match tomorrow. I will send you the link if you're available. If not, Merry Christmas to you, sir, and Happy New Year to your family.
Absolutely. Thank you. You as well.
Big up, guys. Anyway, thanks you for tuning in, and glory, Manchester United. We will win tomorrow, promise you, but I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to tell the results. Let Lady Fortuna have it says. Thank you all for watching. See you to the next video. Bye for now. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.